everyone. Today I'm here to do a tag video that I'm very excited to do. I've done it before, but it's been so long and I'm like, I want to redo it. And that is the Libraries Lovers book tag. I believe today or around this day is like Library Appreciation Day, and I love the library, and I feel like not enough people talk about the library or, use the library. A lot of us here on BookTube have been. I think over the past few years, the library has really come up in popularity, especially with BookTube and just population in general. And I want everyone to use the library because it's just so amazing. So my whole point of this video is for you today to check out your library because it's amazing, and appreciate them because they're just awesome. So yeah, let's do this tag. It's been forever since I've done it, so I have no recollection of my answers whatsoever on these. So first up, the question is, how often do you visit your local library? If we're talking about the site and stuff, like for my local library, every day usually. But in physically, I'd probably say once a week. And when I do physically, it's mostly for my son Noah. He loves library books. He has a memory like a steel trap. If I've gotten him one library book that he's enjoyed, he will forever remember it and ask for it by name. And if that library doesn't have it at that time, oh my gosh. But either way, I do have a lot of holds that I get for him every single week. So I would say I visit it once a week physically. But if we're talking about like going to my library's website, checking my holds, putting other things on hold, things like that, every single day. I'm not even exaggerating. Question number 2 is, are you the type of person who checks out more books than you know you can read, or are you someone who only checks out the exact amount of books you intend on reading before they are due? I think what I used to say is when physical books, I would check out way more. I would just check out any book I was interested in because it's a library. Why not? There's no rules against it. But now, when I check out books from the library, they're always kids' books, so I'm not counting that. But I do ebooks now because that is 100% of my reading. You guys know I have a 7-month-old daughter, so holding a book is just not feasible for me right now. It's probably going to happen, I say after she turns a year old. I think it could be like I'll make the transition back into physical books, but right now I'm just embracing it. So what I usually do is any book that's on like my TBR, physical TBR, like for example, like I just read this one this month, Houseless Cerulean Sea. I will go in my library and see if they have it on overdrive. Some books they do, some books they do not. And it'll tell you how many books. Like I think it'll tell you how many holds it has. I think this one, it'll say like 25 holds on 2 copies. That's a lot. That's not actually, no, that's not a lot. I have a hold for Leanne Moriarty's newest book, Apples Never Fall. I am not even kidding. There's 100 holds on that thing for 5 copies. So either way, I will do that, and I will put my max. I think the max I can put on for the physical or for the ebooks one is like 7 or 8. I max them jinx out. So I guess I could still answer the question of I do check out more books than I know I can read. But then again, I'm just trying to put myself in that hold list. But I have a weird thing with my libraries. When I put all those on holds, I'm like, they'll come in at varying times. No. Sometimes they'll come in at once, and I'm like, I can't read all these at once. Like, what the heck? So I guess I'm just answering my own question. I just did the longest answer ever. I'm sorry. Question number 3 is, how old were you when you got your first library card? I think I got my first library card is when I started reading Harry Potter at the age of like 10 or 11. I remember my parents are separated. They're divorced, and I think it was my dad's weekend one weekend, and he was living right near a library at the time, and he took us to the library, got us our own library card, and I checked out Harry Potter because I was hearing a lot of things about it, and yeah, that's when I started reading it. So I'm pretty sure that's when I got my first library card, when I was 10 or 11. I don't know. I don't know what the age is to have your own library card. My son's 7. I don't think he's quite ready for that by any means, but I can't wait for him until he is, because that's just going to be so amazing for him to have his own library card. Oh my gosh, my heart. But yeah, I'm going to say 10 or 11. I think that's a good age. Why not? Question number 4, do you go to your library looking for a particular book, or do you check out anything that piques your interest? I think I answered that already, kind of. I definitely go ahead in there with my holds in particular and put a set hold on there because they are books I'm already interested in for sure. So I definitely go in mind knowing what I want to. There's very rare times where I'll go to the library physically and like just peruse the shelves, mainly because I don't have time to do that. I wish I did. I could do that. I would love to do it, but I just don't. So I definitely go looking for a particular book. Question number 5 is, do you use your library to check out books, or you check out DVDs, audiobooks, etc.? So I use ebooks mostly, and I do physical books, but my son also likes getting DVDs from there, so I get those from there sometimes. And I also get a lot of nonfiction books. Do those count? No, those are just books. So I would say I mostly just get books, I would say. My main things are ebooks, kids books, and then DVDs are the main things I check out from the library. We're going to go in order. Question number 6 is, what section of your library do you check out the majority of your books? YA, middle grade, adult, nonfiction? Definitely adults. I would say for genres, I've been probably thriller would be this year, would be the most for me, followed by romance maybe. And then kids, like, good Lord, like you know what? Let me just show you the stack of kids books I have right now from the library. Surprise, actually not that many as I thought. It's only like 5, which is not a lot, honestly. So for kids books, I have Lilo and Stitch right now because my son is obsessed with Lilo and Stitch. Also, Old School Lady and the Tramp will do. I also have like a Monsters Inc. one. He just likes different movies, if you can tell. And then I have 3, if you give like a mouse a thing, because we own most of them, but I don't own these. If you take a mouse to the movies, I have if you give a pig a party, and if you give a dog a donut. So those are that's my current like physical library haul. My sons, I shall say. I actually have 2 more on hold for him ready at the library right now. Last question is, what is your favorite part of using your local library? Is just the accessibility to get books. Like, I love how, you kids can just read anything. The library most likely has it. And I just love how far the libraries come, because years ago they weren't having audiobooks or ebooks, and just the easiness, the accessibility of getting ebooks now is amazing. I love that they use Overdrive and Hoopla and Libby. It is just phenomenal. I also just love that the library, at least my local library, they really care. Like, every time I check out a lot of kids books, they're always doing kids crafts, so they'll put like a craft in the bag for me. For example, like, I got all these books last week when my son had the flu, so I didn't want to physically go in the library because I was like, I was trying to quarantine. My library has a great thing where you can drive up there and they have curbside checkout, where you just give them your library number, or they'll put the bags in, they'll put the books in the bag for you, and they'll put it on a table right outside the library for you to come get it. And so whenever I do that, they always put in, and I always get kids books usually, they'll put in a little craft for Noah, and they're so kind. A lot of librarians are just so kind, and they care about books, and they care about people, and they want to help you out. Like, I've dropped my library card one time in the library, and I had kids in the car, so I couldn't go in and get it, so I had to call, and they were like, oh, it's right here, we'll hold it for you, no problem. Like, they're just so nice. So I love everything about the local library, and I think as I'm getting older, I appreciate it more and more, and I just see how it's a really, great thing for everybody. If somebody doesn't have a computer, they can go to the library and apply for jobs, look up apartments, study. Like, I know a lot of people have study groups. Also, the library, my library has, before COVID hit, it had so many great like events. Like, one time I went up there, they would have a petting zoo, and my son loved that. And they have different like little classes for kids and things like that. They'll do movie nights. It's just, the library has so many great free resources, and it's great because they're all free. Reading is free, the library. So I can't gush enough about the library, and I feel like it doesn't get enough love, even though I'm sure as you're watching this, you're like, I love my library, I use it all the time. That's great. I'm so happy. I wish everyone used the library. I really do, because they're just awesome. So I want to know, what's your favorite part about your library? What does your library do? Like, do you have a favorite librarian that you go talk to, or do you have like your favorite section, or you know what I'm saying? Just what do you love about your library? I would love to know. But yeah, I just wanted to share some library love today and talk all about it and how I use my library and things like that. And if you haven't already, if you're like, I don't like to physically read books, the library has ebooks now. Check out your local library. Trust me. And they have e-audiobooks. You need to check it out. Just go and research your local library site. You will not be disappointed, I guarantee you. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.